you people. I know everyone's like, we've been here for 2 hours. Cry me a river, Tatum. So how's everyone doing this morning? Seem a little slower, a little less sure on my feet, a little less humorous, and a little edgy. I don't think anything's going to be different. So welcome. This is J. Michael Tatum Q&A. They do provide Q, I provide A. I don't know what that stands for. Ask the person next to you, they'll probably know. If not, you ask the person next to you, all the way down until those of you in the center of the room, I hope know what that means. It means question and answer. Which is cool. So it's very informal. I'm just going to sit here and chat. I may sit down, I may stand up, and one pace back and forth here. I don't know why. I just nervous energy. There's a lot of you. There's a lot of you. I feel so much pressure to perform. I'm so kidding. You're so worried about me. I love that. So I have a couple rules I'd like to lay down before we get started with the Q&A. First of all, it is informal, so rather than make you like line up in front of a mic, you just raise your hand and I'll pick on you at random. Really, I swear to God, it is random, so if any of you have your hands up throughout and I never pick on you, please don't take it personally. I love you all the same. I just didn't want to answer your stupid questions. So I'm also a little snarky, so please understand I just pick on you because I love you. Feel free to pick on me too, as long as we keep it relatively family friendly. How many of you were here last night? Please forget everything. So yeah, a couple of rules, beyond that is anything is open. I will answer just about anything as long as we keep it family friendly. Please don't ask me terribly personal things. But a couple of guidelines to help you ask questions. If you have seen me address the question you want to ask elsewhere on a YouTube video, if you've been to another panel of mine, I can't understand why you would be at this one. Why? You're just here to fact check me, I suppose. No, that's not what you said in 2009. That's not oh, crap. If you've seen me answer the question or address the issue that you want to ask or talk about, please think of another question or think of a new spin on it. I like to be creative. I like to be given new stuff to riff on. So, the general questions such as like, how did you become a voice actor? That's pretty well known by now. So I kind of feel like that story is old. But if you don't know it, go ahead and ask it, whatever, luck of the draw. Also, though, a very popular question I know that people ask me is, what's your favorite thing about this? What's your favorite thing about writing? What's your favorite thing about acting? What's your favorite thing about being at this convention? I, in my grumpy old age, have decided I don't like to play the favorites game. It's hard. So first of all, like the most common question I get asked is, what's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character? Right? Everyone's like, please mine, please be mine, please be mine. I can't answer that question anymore because I'm psychotic. As an actor, all the characters I've played, right down to like Soldier A, who likes his sprees and then gets shot and dies. Those characters, become kind of a permanent feature of my very chaotic psyche. And they're all kind of on free rotation up there. It's like a family at Thanksgiving dinner where we're all kind of busting each other's chops over the table, So if I would just give you, an answer just because I want to answer your question, I'd be like, this character. I would be in my hotel room later tonight and all night, like there would be 18 other characters in my head going, you're a bastard. Don't do that to me, please. So favorites questions, I just find that they're the hardest to answer. So I like to steer clear of those if we can. Other than that, just about everything is open. Also, this is not the time for me to take your phone and call your mother's sister's best friend's sister's former roommate's hairdresser and marry them in Sebastian's voice. Nothing halts a panel like me being on the phone with someone. We're like, oh, give me just a second. Hang on, I think it's going to voicemail. So let's not do that. Those are more free range things. Like if you're lucky enough to catch me wandering around the con, and you will if you're clever and quick on your feet, then you'll be like, phone, call my friend. But here, no. And I know it's early, you want to remain seated, so don't come running up here for hugs. I'll run away. It's not that I don't want your hugs, I'm just afraid of breaking this early in the morning if someone touches me. I haven't had enough coffee. I can't even open this water bottle. This is pathetic. About covers everything. And I have my water open now. So let's begin, shall we? Who's got a good question? You with the pink and like you've got the thing. Oh yes, you just were like, yep, that's me.
Alright. So I know you play Sir Hammerlock in Borderlands, and that's a crazy story from hilarious things happening. What about the behind the scenes though? What's the craziest thing that's happened when you've done voice acting?
The craziest thing that's happened behind the scenes when we do voice acting? Ooh, I have to think about that one because we're all so crazy. The bar is high. It's kind of, most of my career has been in anime dubs, as you all know. And when we're dubbing, we actually don't have the opportunity to work together very often. We have to work solo. So for example, if say Todd Havercorn and I are together in a particular scene, we're not recorded together. I may be the first one recorded, and then he may come in a day, a week, a month later to record with what's already been laid down. So we don't often, most of us voice actors don't get to even meet or see each other until we come to conventions. Like, oh my God, you were great in that show we did together. It's really weird sometimes, right? But if we've come to know the other actors that we know are in the show, whether they're recorded or whether we've heard their performance yet or not, if you're lucky enough to be the first person to record a back and forth between yourself and another character, and you know that when, say, Todd or whoever comes in to record the other character, they're going to hear you in what's called their pre-roll, meaning that they've got the cans on and they're going to hear what I recorded a week or a day or a month ago, leading into their cue. Then you can leave what we like to call bombs. We're all very professional, and so we pride ourselves on, for the most part, not messing up, because we have to work really fast. We mess up, we do it all the time, but we try to, you just try to, get back in the saddle as quickly as possible and go right on. But man, we love to mess each other up. We love to do that. We love to leave bombs. So that say, and the one I think there's been many, most of which are not family friendly. They're all lewd as hell. Really lewd as hell. We just love to say horrible things to each other. Something like your cue beeps before you're supposed to come in, and so it's 3 beeps followed by an imaginary 4th, and that's the rhythm you're supposed to follow knowing it's coming for your cue. But over that is also whatever's being said right before your character comes in. So Todd may or may not have come in to record an episode of Italia in which France was telling about Italy about the bells and the bees. Now, in the version that's been released, when he's talking about it, the entire monologue is beeped out. We two people love each other. Beep! Well, I actually said stuff. A lot of stuff. Just filled it. There was wonderful stuff in the script that we knew would never get used. We're like, just to fill in the space, so there's actually something to beep because it'll just make it sound so horrible. And we're not going to beep it for Todd. Todd's not going to hear the beep. That's going to be in post-production. So so I recorded a good 2 or 3 days before Todd came in to do the same scene, and I walked out there feeling very satisfied. And a few days later, I was there working on something else. Todd was in the booth for Italia, recording just that scene, and he was walking out of the booth just as I was walking down the hallway to my studio. He's like, "Hey, Tatum." I'm like, "Did I get you?" He's like, "You did." Yes! Yes! Everything I said, by the way, is still on the table if you ever change your mind. So bye, have a good session. Right, so that kind of stuff happens all the time. I want to also note how graciously I actually fell on that step just now. And made it work. This brings to mind a very important piece of wisdom I'd like to share with all of you. Probably the most important thing I have to contribute to humanity, that is, if you want to fall in public and avoid being laughed at by strangers, the trick to that is to just stay down. Think about it. If you fall down and get right back up, everyone's like, good. Their steam is gone. It won't laugh at you. I've learned that many times. Many times. You fall, stay down. Stay down. Are you okay? I don't know. And later, you know, they'll be so glad that you're not going to sue them that they'll be willing to forget the whole incident. Thank you for starting it off. Here's another question. You with the water bottle on your finger.
What's the most annoying or most frustrating thing that happened in your career?
The most frustrating or annoying thing that's ever happened in my career. I don't know. I've been this is going to sound like such a BS answer, but I've been enormously lucky. I haven't had a lot of disappointments. I mean, it's always disappointing when like a show you really care about doesn't hit as big as you'd like with your luggage. Hopper's nightmare going, traveling overseas. So I had to land. We landed in Heathrow, which is in England proper. I needed to catch another flight to go to Ireland. We actually pass over Ireland, get on a plane, and go back to Ireland from England. So it was a very great trip. But Heathrow Airport sucks balls. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's like a human habit trail. And I had to, at some point, this was actually coming back, we had to go back through Heathrow. There's like 1,000 security checkpoints. I don't know why. You have to and at some point, we finally make it to our gate, and there's nothing. It's just, you have to pass through this very, very strict, secure area where they have to check your passport, and they ask you some questions, and you sit down and wait for your flight, but it's not like a normal gate at a normal airport. This is a gate that has no teleprompter, no nothing, no status, no bathrooms. It's just a bunch of seats and there's a window. And there may be a plane waiting for you, maybe not. It may be an hour, maybe 3 hours. You don't know. And they don't know. They won't tell you anything. So it's really weird. It's kind of like being this weird Kafka-esque waiting area. You have no idea when your plane's going to be there. And at some point, I had to really go to the bathroom. So my partner and I were like, well, let's just go. And we had to go, well, you can't leave the secured area to find a bathroom unless you surrender your passport. Now, I don't know how anyone else feels about this, but surrendering your passport to anyone in a foreign country makes you think, oh my God, I'm going to end up in prison. I don't know how, I'm going to end up in prison here in England. And because it's England, I imagine it's going to be like some dungeon in with shackles, and I'm going to be next to some old guy with a beard down to here who regurgitates his food for baby crows. I'm terrified. I'm like, this guy wants my passport. Oh, you just come back and I'll give it back to you. I'm like, oh, it's that easy, is it? Okay. So we run out, and my partner describes it like this: as he was going, finding the bathroom, and I was behind this big corridor of people, just shoulder to shoulder. I'm behind him by, whatever, a good body length. And he thinks I'm right there, when he just suddenly realizes I'm not behind him, and he hears behind him a bunch of people going, ooh! And this involves, plays back to what I said about falling in public. I wish it was just a fall. There's a series of poles. For no reason, by the way, no reason at all. Just standing there, you know what, let's put a pole right there. And if I had been just short enough, I would have seen it. It would have been in my line of vision. I'd be like, oh, there's a pole, I'm going to move around it. If I'd been taller, I would have walked right over it without having any idea there was a pole there. However, it was perfectly crotch level. And in my blind spot. So I'm like, let's go to the bathroom. And a bunch of people going, oh! And my partner turns around and he goes, oh! Turns back to me and I touch my hand. I'm like, I can't get there. What? I can't. God, just get me home. That's the most frustrating thing that's ever happened to me with my sometimes people are like, oh my God, what I used to do this thing where I used to meet people in public, like, oh, you're an anime, cool, I watch some anime. And they're like, oh, you probably haven't seen anything on anime, what are the chances? And they name like 5 shows, and I'm like, oh yeah, crap, I'm in all of those. Yeah, and they're like, really, whoa. I don't know, I honestly, from my standpoint, I don't know that it's doing anything wrong. Now, I'm kind of, in the industry on this side of things, on this side of the pond, so it's been awesome to see how it's grown, because in my lifetime I've seen anime kind of grow and decline in popularity several times. It always comes over in waves. There was the Star Blazers and Voltron wave when I was very little, which is kind of what I grew up on, what got me into anime in the first place. And then there was the Pokemon wave, which happened later, and that was awesome. Pikachu! And then the Cowboy Bebop wave. adaptive writer on those scripts as well, and so I watched the entire series, and I'm watching this going, oh my god, it's basically a show about a bunch of poor, desperate people running from these giant, crotchless monsters. It's a terrifying show. It's my nightmare. But it was great to be part of that. I don't know that, I mean, personally, I don't know that I see anything wrong. I mean, I can't think of anything that I look at and go, oh god, I wish anime wouldn't do that. From my industry standpoint, I would say the only problem I ever encounter are people that are dub haters that just hate dubs on principle without giving them a fair hearing. And I understand that because I grew up in the age where you had to watch the dub. There was an option to watch Japanese unless you got stuff shipped over from Japan. So I think, but that seems to be improving. A lot of people are willing to give the dub and Japanese kind of fair hearing.
Well, the reason that they go with dub because they're suffering use the Japanese voices when the
Right.
English one sounds wrong.
Right. Oh, and I totally understand that too. But again, in my old age, I figured I'm like, I just love being able to watch the same show twice. So that's my thing. I honestly can't think of anything that I think that anime, as a rule, does incorrectly that I wish they would improve. I actually love it. I think there's a lot of things about anime that I recommend over other mainstream entertainment.
Yes.
Especially the crap they show on television here. There's a few notable exceptions, but I mean, like, my God, some of the shows they give us here in the States that are homemade, I'm like, this is a terrible show. Do we really need another police procedural? I don't want to think one personally, but thank you. What is that? It wasn't this, it's some of my vomit, I saved it in the back. No, I'm so good, but seriously, what is that? Oh, so it's like a trail mix.
Yeah, sort of. I think it was supposed to be cookies. So now it basically would be real mix, yes.
Sorry, that's awesome. I appreciate the offer and I love you, but it's like, hi, do you want some cookies? And it's just a bag of stuff. These were cookies, damn it! You didn't see them when I saw them! It's like it's me in the kitchen. These were gonna be scrambled eggs, I swear to God. I don't know what happened. At the same time? Oh God, I don't know. That's a good point. I have to think about that. France would not die first. He's drunk, he's loose, so they step on him, he's like, come on, it's France. He would be like, oh my God, look at these men. Rip the Titans out. We're gonna go to this one over here. Maybe Doro, because he's a frog. Which always made me, I love Doro, I love Sergeant Frog to death. Like, he's so, but Doro is like, he's like, I'm a ninja, and I'm gonna totally kick your butt. And you're like, that's awesome. Boop. But then again, he's so small, maybe he'd get out, maybe they wouldn't even see it. We don't like frogs, we like people. Oh God, I don't know. I'm imagining the host club running from the the armored titan, like totally just ripping the pink clock tower. I gotta go, run! King is busy sketching them in his book. Just run, guys, just run. Marking down all the monetary damage titans are doing. Wow. All the characters I played, let's see. I really don't know, that's a good one. I do kind of like the idea of France going first. Unless the cast of Italia wishes that were the case. Who? Hammerlock! Oh, Hammerlock. Oh no, Hammerlock's not even there. Hammerlock's on another planet going, Elliot, could you do something for me? Hammerlock looks like he's already run into a titan. Oh, God.
Wallaby Skid?
Sebastian would just kill them all. Let's see.